All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Kaplan here, just with a look at what's going on locally and, of course, in the tropics. Got a whole 10-minute breakdown for you to kind of let you know what to expect here the next few days. It has been very summer-like, for the beginning of September. Temperatures have been running above normal. Pretty shot here. This is from this top of our studios. This evening, you can see some high clouds out there, but temperatures were hot today. 95 was the high temperature. Our normal this time of year is 90. So yeah, I mean, we're not looking at cool, crisp fall air this time of the year, but still, when you're 5 degrees above normal in the mid 90s, it's certainly feeling more like August than September so far. That said, nowhere near the record. We have been a lot hotter this time of year. 100 degrees is the record set back in 1995, but we can also be on the cooler side. We can really go either way this time of year. The record low, 55 set back in 1903. Unfortunately, none of that cool weather on the way anytime soon. Sunset tonight at 7:24. Let's talk more about those high temperatures. A week from now, when we get into October, believe it or not, or at least 2 weeks from now, 87 will be your normal high temperature. So that normal high really starts to tumble fast. So we are going to lose 3 degrees off of our normal high temperatures in the next 2 weeks. And we keep going from there. By the beginning of November, the normal high temperature is 77, and then eventually 3 months with normal highs in the 60s. So again, we're hurtling into fall. We are hurtling towards winter. But that said, I think summer is going to try to hang on a little bit longer for us here. With that said, we do have the isolated shower chances in play. We haven't seen a lot of rain lately, but these isolated shower chances will hang on at least through the end of the week and the weekend. Temperatures will stay warm as well in the low to mid 90s. There may be some changes though by next week. So this is how things look for the rest of the week. Isolated shower chances, warm temperatures. By next week though, we could see an increase in rain chances and a decrease in temperatures. We'll show you more about that in just a second. First though, for the overnight, any showers that are out there right now, wrap up. We're warm and muggy getting into the day tomorrow, or at least for tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow itself looks like a repeat of what we've seen the last 2 days. Mix of sunshine and clouds, stray showers popping up around 3 to 4 p.m. and then sticking around through about 7 o'clock, and then everything starts to wrap up. For Friday, I do think we're a little bit drier, so I think it's a mainly sunny and a mainly dry day as well, with temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Notice there will be a frontal boundary draped across North Texas. I don't think that gets anywhere near us. It kind of holds steady across North Texas. There will be some cooler weather coming into the Panhandle, but for us here at home, things are going to stay warm at least through the end of the week and the weekend. So here's a look at future track. Your snapshot tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., mainly clear skies, dry conditions. By the afternoon, there you go, 3, 4 p.m., a couple of pop-up downpours across the area. This is not going to be widespread activity. It's not going to be significant. But again, some pockets of rain, 20% chance, I'd say overall, very similar to what we saw today and yesterday. Then getting into Friday morning, skies clear. It's a sunny start to the day. And then as we get into the afternoon, I think it's only just a 10% chance for a stray shower or two, especially down towards the coast. I think that's where the real rain chance is going to be for the day on Friday. I think most other areas will stay dry with mainly sunny skies. Here's the current setup right now across the country. We've got cooler weather across the upper Great Plains, cooler weather into the Northeast as well. We are warm here at home, and there is heat building back across northern Mexico, getting into the desert Southwest. Watch what happens as we head through the weekend and into next week. The upper levels of the atmosphere will kind of reshuffle itself, and the jet stream reorientates to really drawing a stark difference between the Intermountain West, where a lot of heat's going to build getting into the middle of next week. And then notice we're in this little pocket here of maybe some potentially cooler temperatures. This is by next Wednesday, so this is 7 days down the road. We could see maybe the opportunity for some cooler weather, or at least milder temperatures, backing into North Texas, and we'll have to wait and see if it actually gets this far south. I do think, though, that we'll see higher rain chances across the area, but not until probably Tuesday and Wednesday. So until then, rain chances are just isolated. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 20% chances, that's it. By next Monday, though, we could see those rain chances start to creep up into the 30% range. And then beyond that, I think we see rain chances even higher for Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's rain that we could actually use. For the month of September so far, we're running almost a 2-inch deficit. And check this out, year to date, you know, we started the year off strong with rain chances. Since then, we've really seen a dry stretch here so far. So we're running almost a 7-inch rainfall departure this year, coming in less than 30 inches. So far, we should be over 36 inches, about 36.5 inches. So yeah, we could use a little bit of rain, and I do think we'll see those rain chances increase as we get to the middle of next week. Here's the reason why. That little dip in the jet stream will open the door for our storm system to come in, and this could bring us, I don't think it's going to be a ton of rain, but just more widespread, more scattered shower and storm chances, about a 50-50 chance as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, so not quite as high. It's not going to be a widespread, long-duration rain event. We're not expecting any flooding with this, but definitely some better opportunities for storms. Behind this, if this actually ends up being a cool front, we could see a period of briefly cooler and drier weather as we get into the first few days of fall. Remember, fall officially doesn't begin until we get to Monday. All right, in the tropics, yeah, I mean, it's obviously still summer, but we're also still tracking tropical systems here. And we've got 3 areas on the map. I know it's kind of a complicated looking map right now. We've got newly formed Gabrielle today. That's a tropical storm. And then behind it, 2 waves that are pretty close together, both with low odds of developing as we head through the upcoming week. First, we'll start with the latest on Tropical Storm Gabrielle, a 50-mile-per-hour storm moving northwest at about 15 miles per hour. Over the next few days, this will continue to track northwest, eventually coming close to Bermuda right there, that little dot on the map, as a Category 1 hurricane by the time we get into the beginning of next week. Notice, though, this stays well north of the islands, and I would say after Monday, the models take this to the north and east and curve it back out to sea. So this is not going to be a threat for any areas here along the eastern seaboard as we get into next week. Then behind it, these are the 2 areas that we're watching, the 2 waves. Right now, though, they are wrapped up in a lot of Saharan dust. Notice that darker color, that copper brown color on the map. That indicates the Saharan dust concentration, which is very high up near the wave that's just moving off the west coast of Africa right now. As we go through the upcoming week, that dust is really going to keep these things from developing into anything. However, that little bit of spin will still exist in the atmosphere by the time we get to the middle of next week. And so while these waves will struggle to develop, we'll have to keep an eye on these pockets of energy to see if they can tap into a better atmosphere and maybe try to develop as they get closer to the United States. But right now, it looks unlikely that we see any development with these, which lines up with the National Hurricane Center forecast of only a 20% chance for development in the next 7 days. Good reminder, though, we are at the peak of hurricane season right now. The official peak was 7 days ago, but still, we're pretty much in the peak from now through the middle of October. That's when things really start to drop off in terms of tropical potential. If you're doing any traveling for Thursday, weather looks great across the Northeast. Definitely an improvement from where things are today. A lot of sunshine, temperatures in the 80s back towards the Great Lakes. We'll be in the 70s and 80s up and down the I-95 corridor with a mix of sun and clouds. Into the Southeast, pretty dry. A lot of sunshine on the way, but again, noticeably dry. Temperatures in the 90s from New Orleans up through Atlanta will be in the upper 80s, 90s for Nashville, and then down through Tampa as well. More wet weather for Miami. It has been an unbelievably wet forecast so far the last few weeks for South Florida. Into the state of Texas we go. Beautiful for Amarillo. Low humidity, 70s, mix of sun and clouds. More clouds, a stray shower chance for El Paso, upper 80s. We'll do 90s here in Houston with sunshine, same for Dallas. Kansas City at 80 degrees with a chance for a couple showers and storms. Cool weather from the Dakotas all the way down through Omaha. Temperatures 50s, 60s, and 70s. Hot for St. Louis in the 90s with sunshine. Chicago in the mid-80s, mid-70s for Green Bay. Getting into the West Coast, a bit unsettled here for Southern California with a couple showers and storms possible for LA. Temperatures in the upper 70s, 80 with cloudy weather for San Francisco. Upper 90s for Phoenix with a chance for a couple storms. Gorgeous in Denver, low 70s with sunshine. Salt Lake in the mid 80s with mainly sunny skies. And then finally the Pacific Northwest, more beautiful weather. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s from Seattle to Spokane and Medford, and more beautiful weather continuing into Montana and Wyoming. For us back here at home, showers come to an end tonight. 72 is your low temperature. We'll do 93 with an isolated shower or storm chance for your Thursday. And then more of that weather continues Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mainly sunny skies, isolated shower chances, temperatures in the low 90s. Then we get to Monday, the first official day of fall. We'll be tracking that potential storm system with an isolated shower or storm chance, going to more scattered storm chances for Tuesday and Wednesday, which will make temperatures a little bit cooler as well, in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. That's a look at your forecast. We've got an update on the tropics coming up here on KHOU 11 Plus at 8 p.m. And then I'll see you back here tonight on the KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. See you then.